"Stay away from my car," the billionaire shouted at the homeless black man, unaware that this stranger was about to save his $4.2 million hypercar and reshape his entire worldview. Smoke poured from the Quantum Apex S engine in the industrial district as tech mogul Nathaniel Brooks frantically dialed his phone. No one answered. A crowd gathered. The proprietary engine, unfixable outside its exclusive factory, groaned in distress. "Sir, there's a microfracture in your quantum thrust cooling system's secondary loop," said the disheveled man, stepping forward with hands slightly raised. "I can repair it." Nathaniel's finger hovered over his security contact. How could this man know about technology so secret that the manufacturer denied its existence? What hidden genius stood before him? Why was he destitute? In the next 60 seconds, Nathaniel's beliefs about talent, worth, and judgment would crumble completely. Where are you joining us from today? Drop a comment and subscribe to Beat Stories for tales of extraordinary justice that will transform your perspective. Malik Thompson hadn't always been homeless. 3 years ago, he engineered groundbreaking cooling systems that revolutionized aerospace, saving countless lives. Now, he slept under the stars, invisible to the tech elites who passed him without a glance. His mornings followed a strict routine, waking at dawn in his concealed spot behind a deserted machine shop near Tech Row, folding his tarp with the precision of his engineering days where accuracy meant survival. His schedule was disciplined: wash at the public restroom, brush his teeth, and head to the library as soon as it opened. Knowledge was his last tether to his former life. Malik had been tracking the Quantum Apex for weeks, its unique hum unmistakable. He worked on its predecessor's design during a brief consultancy at Aerotech Industries before his life unraveled. An MIT graduate with 3 degrees and 7 patents, generating millions for companies that now erased him. Malik knew the irony. He could solve complex thermodynamic equations, but couldn't he overcome a hiring manager as biased scrutiny? Overqualified, they'd say if they interviewed him. Not a cultural fit, they'd mutter when his credentials were undeniable. The unspoken truth lingered. A black man from the wrong neighborhood. No fixed address, a career gap from false accusations that destroyed his reputation. Yet Malik preserved his dignity. He taught science to kids at the homeless shelter 3 nights a week, scoured discarded tech journals from corporate bins, and kept his intellect sharp despite a system designed to dull it. That morning, he detected a subtle flaw in the Hypercar's engine, a faint irregularity only someone familiar with its design would notice. A microfracture was forming where his reports had warned of a weakness, a flaw ignored by executives chasing deadlines. Now, one of those executives faced a smoking multi-million-dollar testament to Malik's dismissed expertise. Malik approached warily, knowing his help often provoked suspicion rather than gratitude. His worn clothes and unkempt beard triggered security calls faster than his insights earned respect. He saw fear in Nathaniel Brooks's eyes, not recognition of Malik as a person, but as a threat. The billionaire's grip tightened on his phone, a gesture Malik knew well from 3 years of rejection. What Nathaniel didn't know was that Malik had once been invited to speak at the same tech summits where Nathaniel headlined. Their paths nearly crossed 5 years ago before false accusations later disproved ruined Malik's career. The tech world forgot vindications but remembered scandals. As smoke curled from the hypercar, Malik analyzed its pattern, pinpointing the failing components. He could fix it with basic tools and knowledge that the current team lacked. Something professional pride or a rare chance to prove himself pushed him forward despite the likely rejection. "Sir, I know what's wrong with your car," he said, voice steady and professional. "Your quantum thrust cooling system has a microfracture in the secondary loop." What followed would spark a chain of events that would transform both their lives, exposing flaws not just in a luxury vehicle, but in the system that decided who deserved redemption. Nathaniel Brooks's day was collapsing as spectacularly as his hypercar's cooling system. The Quantum Apex, one of only 17 built, had failed at the worst moment. 3 hours before a critical investor presentation, 2 miles from the nearest authorized repair center with no cell signal. "Keep your distance from the vehicle," Nathaniel snapped, avoiding Malik's gaze, his tone honed by years of unquestioned authority. The crowd had doubled, phone cameras capturing the spectacle of the smoking hypercar and its stranded tech prodigy owner, Nathaniel Brooks, founder of Apex Innovations. Social media would soon explode. "Sir, I can help," Malik insisted, maintaining a respectful distance. "That model has a known flaw in the quantum thrust cooling system's secondary loop." Nathaniel finally met his eyes, scanning Malik's tattered clothes, unkempt appearance, and the grocery bag holding his possessions. His expression shifted from irritation to dismissal. "How would you know anything about this car?" he scoffed. Malik held his gaze. "Because I helped design the prototype cooling system it's based on." A sharp, incredulous laugh burst from Nathaniel, echoed nervously by onlookers. "Right, and I'm teaching quantum mechanics at community college." He turned back to his phone. "I appreciate whatever this is, but this car has proprietary tech. Most mechanics can't touch it." Malik stood firm. "The fracture is leaking coolant into the tertiary chamber, causing that blue-gray smoke. If it continues, you'll face catastrophic engine failure in about 47 minutes." Nathaniel froze. The smoke was indeed blue-gray, and the car's diagnostics warned of 45 minutes until permanent damage. "How do you—" he began, then stopped, eyes narrowing. "Is this a stunt? Did someone set you up?" A black SUV pulled up, and 2 security guards from Tech Nexus emerged, responding to Nathaniel's earlier call. "Is there an issue, Mr. Brooks?" asked the taller guard, eyeing Malik suspiciously. "This man was just leaving," Nathaniel said coldly. "He claims to know something about my car." "I know the Quantum Apex uses a modified aerotech cooling system," Malik said quickly. "I know it has a design flaw documented in internal memo XT447, ignored due to production pressures." Nathaniel's face flickered with recognition at the memo number, proprietary information never released publicly. "How could you possibly—" he began. "Mr. Brooks, we should secure the area," the guard interrupted. "Your vehicle contains valuable intellectual property." Malik held his ground. "You have about 45 minutes before that engine is ruined. The service center can't help. They lack the parts and expertise. Towing it now will worsen the damage." Nathaniel hesitated, torn between dismissing Malik and the realization that this stranger knew insider details. "Sir," the second guard said firmly to Malik, "move along." "Wait," Nathaniel raised a hand. "You mentioned memo XT447. How do you know that?" "Because I wrote it," Malik replied simply. 5 years ago, as a consulting engineer at Aerotech. "My name is Malik Thompson." For a moment, recognition flickered across Nathaniel's face, though he couldn't place the name. The first guard stepped closer. Sir, final warning. Step away from Mr. Brooks and his vehicle. Nathaniel checked his watch. Roadside assistance was 2 hours away. His investor meeting couldn't be rescheduled. The smoke thickened. What exactly do you need to fix it? He asked, ignoring the guard's surprised looks. Basic tools, most in your emergency kit. 20 minutes of uninterrupted work, Malik replied. Nathaniel weighed his options, the growing crowd, the irreplaceable car, the critical meeting, the stranger with impossible knowledge. Mr. Brooks, we strongly advise against, the guard began. Check his ID, Nathaniel cut in. Full background. The second guard took Malik aside while the first spoke into his radio. Malik calmly produced his shelter ID, his only identification. The guard returned, expression grim. No current address, no employment records for 3 years, some incident at his last job. The shelter confirms he stays there occasionally. Nathaniel's face hardened. He'd taken a risk even considering this. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding, he said to Malik, sounding anything but sorry. My team will handle this. Malik watched Nathaniel turn away, dismissing him. But what happened next would prove how wrong first impressions can be and how quickly fortunes shift when desperation meets opportunity. Nathaniel's phone rang. He answered, hoping for rescue, but his face fell. 2 hours. That's unacceptable. The system says less than 40 minutes before permanent damage. He paced as the crowd's whispers grew louder. No, I know it's proprietary. That's why I bought it from you. Isn't there someone closer? Malik stood quietly, watching Nathaniel's options dwindle. The guards maintained their position, but their stance softened as the situation clarified. Fine, I'll wait, Nathaniel snapped, ending the call. He glanced at his watch, then at the thickening smoke. The guards exchanged looks. Sir, the taller one said, we should clear the area if there's a fire risk. There won't be a fire, Malik interjected calmly. The smoke is coolant vaporizing against the thermal shielding. The real issue is microscopic damage to the quantum thrust bearings, costing about $870,000 to replace if they fail. All 3 men stared at him. How do you know the exact cost? Nathaniel demanded. Because I helped calculate the original specs, Malik replied evenly. The bearings use a proprietary alloy fabricated at only 2 facilities worldwide. Lead time is 11 weeks. Nathaniel's skepticism wavered, curiosity growing. That's not public knowledge. No, it isn't, Malik agreed. The taller guard leaned in. Sir, we can call the police if he's harassing you. Nathaniel waved him off, studying Malik intently. You said your name is Malik Thompson. You claim you worked at Aerotech. I didn't just work there, Malik said without bravado. I led the thermodynamics team that developed the cooling system your car's based on. Patent at 5729QX, registered 5 years ago. The Quantum Apex's system is a modified version. Nathaniel's eyes widened. That patent number was industry insider knowledge. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. If you're who you say, why are you? He gestured at Malik's appearance. Homeless, Malik finished. False accusations, corporate politics, racial bias. But right now, your car has about 35 minutes before permanent damage, and I can fix it. Nathaniel checked his watch. The crowd grew, a tech blogger now filming. His investor meeting, critical for projecting success, was slipping away. What would you do? He asked, his tone showing consideration. I'd access the secondary cooling loop, vent the contaminated coolant, seal the fracture, and replenish the system, Malik said precisely. With your emergency kit and a few items from that convenience store, I can finish in under 20 minutes. Nathaniel's disbelief lingered. The manufacturer says this repair needs specialized equipment and a controlled environment. They overcomplicate it, Malik countered. The issue is basic fluid dynamics. The coolant's proprietary nature makes them cautious, but there's a simple workaround. The shorter guard, listening closely, spoke up. Sir, I think I know this guy. He teaches engineering to kids at the West Side shelter. Malik nodded slightly. And he's legit? Nathaniel asked. The shelter coordinator calls him a genius, the guard admitted. Didn't connect it till now, Nathaniel paced, weighing his options. The smoke persisted, diagnostics showing 31 minutes to failure. Show me, he said to Malik. Not the repair, just explain what's happening and what you'd do. Malik nodded and approached the car cautiously, pointing without touching. The quantum thrust system uses 3 cooling loops: primary, secondary, and tertiary, each with higher thermal tolerance. The secondary loop's nanocoolant prevents quantum destabilization in the bearings. The fracture, likely here, he pointed precisely, leaks coolant into the tertiary chamber, vaporizing on the shielding. Nathaniel's expression shifted from doubt to amazement as Malik detailed components, their locations, and metallurgical properties, knowledge only an insider would have. The factory protocol demands full disassembly for worst-case contamination, Malik continued. But this leak pattern allows isolating the section, sealing the fracture with thermal bond sealant, and restoring function. Where would you get thermal bond sealant? Nathaniel asked. Malik smiled faintly. Your emergency kit has basic sealant. Combined with nanoparticle-infused graphite from specific pencils at that store, we can make a temporary version that holds until proper repair. Nathaniel stared. You're fixing my multi-million-dollar car with pencil lid? Graphite with specific density, Malik corrected, combined with sealant applied precisely. The guards now looked at Malik with respect. The crowd quieted, sensing the moment's weight. Nathaniel checked the time: 28 minutes to failure. His meeting loomed. The manufacturer's team was too far. If you damage my car, he began. It's already damaged, Malik said calmly. The question is whether you let me help before it's too late. Nathaniel took a deep breath and released the hood. Let's see what you can do with pencils and desperation. But the real test awaited, and neither could predict how their lives would change. The Quantum Apex's hood rose with a hiss, revealing a maze of advanced tech. The crowd murmured, awed by the rare glimpse inside an exclusive vehicle. Malik approached methodically, scanning the engine with practiced eyes. I'll need your emergency kit, he said to Nathaniel, all business. Nathaniel retrieved a sleek case from the trunk and handed it over. Malik assessed the contents. This covers most of what we need. Your guard needs to get the graphite pencils, Stettler Mars Lumograph 8B. The shorter guard looked to Nathaniel, who nodded. Hurry. As the guard left, Malik organized the tools with precise, economical movements, betraying years of expertise. Nathaniel watched, fascinated, as this homeless man transformed into a skilled engineer. The microfracture should be visible after removing this panel, Malik explained, selecting a tool. The coolant's clear but leaves a distinct residue guiding us to the leak. Nathaniel nodded, impressed despite lingering doubts. How long were you at Aerotech? 3 years as lead thermal engineer, 2 as a consultant, Malik replied, focused. Until the incident that ended my career there. What incident? Nathaniel pressed. Malik paused. A prototype failure was blamed on my team. Later proven to be management overriding safety protocols, but my reputation was already ruined. He continued working. These panels prevent tampering. Can I use your phone's flashlight? Nathaniel complied, holding it as Malik detached a cover. A faint hiss emerged. There, Malik said, pointing to a tiny crack where vapor escaped. Exactly where I predicted, at the secondary-tertiary convergence. That small crack caused this? Nathaniel asked, incredulous. The system's under extreme pressure, Malik explained. Even a hairline fracture can. What's going on here? A tall man in a suit, ID badge marking him as Donovan, executive security for Tech Nexus, pushed through the crowd with 2 guards. Mr. Brooks, we heard someone tampering with your vehicle. Our CEO sent me to assist. Nathaniel straightened. Donovan, it's under control. This man is performing an emergency repair. Donovan's gaze swept over Malik dismissively. Sir, our protocols prohibit unauthorized access to proprietary tech, especially. He trailed off, his meaning clear. He knows what he's doing, Nathaniel insisted, though less confidently. With respect, Mr. Brooks, Donovan lowered his voice. This car holds millions in intellectual property. We can't let just anyone. I'm not just anyone, Malik said quietly, continuing his work. And we have about 18 minutes before irreversible damage. Donovan stepped closer, hand on Malik's arm. Step away now. The returning guard, holding pencils, froze. Donovan, please, Nathaniel began. But Donovan cut in. Mr. Brooks, we've had 3 espionage attempts this quarter. How do you know this isn't another? Doubt crept back into Nathaniel's mind. The crowd, phones recording, grew. His reputation and company protocols were at risk. Maybe we should wait for the manufacturer's team, he said, confidence fading. Malik looked up, composed despite the dismissal. In 15 minutes, it'll be too late. That quantum stabilization unit, he pointed deep in the engine, will hit critical temperature, causing a cascade failure. You'll need a new engine core 3 months minimum. Nathaniel wavered. Donovan pressed. We've called the police. This man has no credentials, no ID, no authorization. I've identified the problem, Malik said calmly. That might help the manufacturer's team. He stepped back, dignity intact despite the humiliation. The returning guard whispered to Nathaniel. I called the shelter. They confirmed he teaches engineering there. A genius, maybe a former MIT professor. The car's diagnostics chimed. Warning, 12 minutes to critical failure. Malik made a bold move. Mr. Brooks, make one call to verify me. Call Dr. Amara Patel at StarTech Industries. Tell her Malik Thompson is here. The tension was palpable as Nathaniel considered this. Donovan and his team stood ready to remove Malik. The crowd hushed, sensing the drama. Dr. Amara Patel, StarTech's chief engineer? Nathaniel asked, surprised. Malik nodded. Tell her I'm here. She'll confirm everything. Nathaniel hesitated briefly, then dialed. This is Nathaniel Brooks, he said when the call connected. Sorry for the sudden call, Dr. Patel, but I have an unusual situation. Someone here claims to know you, Malik Thompson. Nathaniel's expression shifted instantly. eyes widening as he listened. The guards exchanged uncertain glances as he listened for a minute. "Yes, he's here," Nathaniel said. "Can I put you on speaker?" He pressed a button, holding the phone between them. "Malik? Malik Thompson? Is that you?" Dr. Patel's voice was clear, professional, and disbelieving. "Hello, Amara," Malik replied, a small smile softening his face. "It's been a while, 3 years, 4 months, about 22 days. You vanished," Dr. Patel said. "We searched for you." "Long story," Malik replied. "Amara, Nathaniel needs to know who he's dealing with," she said firmly. "Malik Thompson is the most brilliant thermal engineer I've worked with. His quantum cooling designs revolutionized our industry. We use his patents in our latest spacecraft." Nathaniel's astonishment grew. "He says he can fix my quantum apex, a microfracture in the secondary loop." "If Malik says he can fix it, he can," Dr. Patel said without hesitation. "He likely designed the system it's based on. Aerotech licensed his patents after he left." Donovan shifted uncomfortably. The guard with the pencils stood protectively near Malik, his demeanor now respectful. "The thing is, Dr. Patel," Nathaniel said, "he's homeless." "I've been on the streets for 3 years, Amara," Malik clarified calmly. A stunned silence followed. "That's impossible," Dr. Patel said. "You had offers from every major tech firm after Aerotech." "I sent you one. Long story," Malik repeated. "But Mr. Brooks's car has 9 minutes before catastrophic failure. With your endorsement, maybe he'll let me finish." The diagnostics chimed, warning 9 minutes to critical failure. "Nathaniel," Dr. Patel's voice turned serious. "Let Malik fix your car. He's probably the most qualified person alive for it. I trust him with billion-dollar tech, let alone a car." Nathaniel looked at Malik anew. "I don't understand." "If you're who she says, how did this happen?" "False accusations, racial profiling, a system quick to condemn and slow to clear," Malik said steadily. "But we can discuss that after saving your car." Nathaniel nodded, chastened. "Donovan, stand down. Dr. Patel, thank you. Malik, call me after this," Dr. Patel said urgently. "We have positions waiting, always have." "I'll think about it," Malik said noncommittally. "Goodbye, Amara." Nathaniel ended the call and turned to Malik. "I owe you an apology." "You owe me the chance to finish," Malik corrected, moving to the engine. "And those pencils." The guard handed them over. Malik selected one with an expert's eye. "This will do." As Malik resumed work, the crowd's murmurs shifted from curiosity to respect. Even Donovan's team backed off, watching with interest. "How does this work?" Nathaniel asked, curious as Malik extracted the pencil's graphite core. "Your kit's emergency sealant is for primary cooling repairs," Malik explained. "Infused with this graphite's nanoparticles, it bonds with the secondary loop's alloy. It'll hold under extreme conditions until proper repair." Nathaniel watched, fascinated. "You developed this?" "Necessity breeds invention," Malik said. "Limited resources teach improvisation." The diagnostics warned. Warning, 6 minutes to critical failure. Malik looked up. "I need total focus now. The application must be precise, one shot." Nathaniel stepped back, signaling the crowd to do the same. Silence fell as Malik, the homeless engineer, worked with surgical precision on the multi-million-dollar vehicle. He pulled up a patent on Nathaniel's phone, listing Malik Thompson as the inventor of the system he was repairing, dated 5 years prior. The next 5 minutes were tense. Malik worked methodically, his movements confident. The crowd, now nearly 50, watched as if witnessing technological surgery. Nathaniel checked his watch and diagnostics compulsively. 4 minutes, 3 minutes. The smoke lessened, but warnings remained critical. More light, Malik said quietly. 3 phones instantly provided illumination, their owners eager to help. Almost done, Malik murmured. Fracture sealed. Now I vent the contaminated coolant and restore pressure. He manipulated components with expert familiarity, draining iridescent fluid into a container fashioned from the kit. Is that the nano-coolant? Nathaniel asked, fascination overtaking anxiety. Yes, about $20,000 worth, Malik replied matter-of-factly. We're saving 60%, better than expected. Nathaniel raised an eyebrow. You know its exact cost? I helped develop it, Malik said. The price has likely risen, but the process is costly due to quantum stabilization. The diagnostics chimed, warning 2 minutes to critical failure. Malik remained calm, refilling the system with reserve coolant. Standard formulation, he explained. Not ideal, but safe below 70% engine output. Nathaniel watched, amazed, as this man he'd dismissed demonstrated mastery over tech that baffled the manufacturer's engineers. 30 seconds, the diagnostics warned. Malik secured the panel. Start the engine, he instructed. Nathaniel hesitated. Are you sure? Start it, Malik repeated with authority. Nathaniel pressed the ignition. After a moment, the engine roared to life, its unique sound modulating to a deep purr. No smoke, the diagnostics read. System stabilizing. Quantum thrust cooling functional, limited to 70% capacity. Service recommended. The crowd cheered. Phones recorded the moment. Nathaniel stared at the readout, stunned. That's impossible. The manufacturer said this can't be done in the field. They overcomplicate to protect their service monopoly, Malik said, wiping his hands. It's simple if you know the system. Nathaniel asked, how long will this hold? The graphite sealant bond lasts about 3 weeks under normal conditions, Malik explained. Plenty of time for proper service. Keep output below 70%. Nathaniel extended his hand. Thank you sincerely. Malik shook it, composed. You're welcome. Nathaniel's curiosity was piqued. I want to know more about this and you. Let's continue this somewhere comfortable. I'll drive you to my office. Malik paused. I appreciate it, but please, Nathaniel cut in. I owe you compensation for saving my car. And after Dr. Patel's words, I have questions. Donovan approached cautiously. Mr. Brooks, your investor meeting is in 90 minutes. Nathaniel had an idea. Come to the meeting. These investors are funding a quantum computing thermal system. Your insights would be invaluable. Malik shook his head. I'm not dressed for that. Nathaniel checked his watch. We have time. Donovan, call bespoke on 5th. We need professional attire in Malik's size, ready in 30 minutes. Donovan looked surprised but complied. Malik raised an eyebrow. That's unnecessary. It's part of your payment, Nathaniel insisted. Plus, I want to see the investors' faces when I tell them who fixed the unfixable car. Malik smiled genuinely. That might be worth it. Nathaniel grew serious. How did someone with your talent end up like this? Not a pleasant story, Malik said. I want to hear it, Nathaniel replied. But first, a proposition attest. Join the meeting. Hear our thermal system pitch. If you can spot flaws and improvements, I'll offer you a consulting role on the spot. Malik studied Nathaniel for insincerity. If I'm not interested, I'll compensate you fairly for the car, Nathaniel said. But I think you'll like our projects. What followed defied expectations as Malik prepared to re-enter the tech world that had cast him aside. At Bespoke on 5th, Malik emerged transformed. The tailored charcoal suit fit his athletic frame perfectly, his beard trimmed, hair styled. He projected authority, drawing respectful glances. Nathaniel nodded. Now you look like the brilliant engineer you are. Malik adjusted his cuffs. Appearances deceive. That's the lesson here, isn't it? Touché, Nathaniel said. But soon you'll prove substance outweighs style. In the SUV to Apex Innovations headquarters, Malik gazed at neighborhoods he once navigated on foot. The guards, once hostile, now showed respect. My assistant researched you, Nathaniel said, scrolling his tablet. MIT, top of your class. 3 patents before graduation. Lead thermal engineer at StarTech by 26. Aerotech consultant at 29. Then nothing. You vanished 3 years ago. Malik nodded, silent. You mentioned false accusations, Nathaniel continued. A prototype failure, significant losses, you were blamed. I was the scapegoat, Malik said quietly. Management overrode safety protocols, but my reputation was ruined. But other firms would have hired you, Nathaniel said. Dr. Patel was eager to. Malik smiled wryly. Accusations of costing millions close doors fast. Add racial bias, rumors of being difficult, and no one calls back. That doesn't explain 3 years homeless, Nathaniel pressed. Depression, drained savings, a system that keeps you down once you fall, Malik said. No address, no phone, worn clothes credentials become suspicious. Nathaniel looked uneasy. I'm starting to see. At Apex Innovations' gleaming headquarters, employees stared at Malik, the commanding stranger beside Nathaniel. Malik, this is Isabella Torres, our CTO, Nathaniel said as an elegant woman approached. Isabella, meet Malik Thompson. Recognition flashed in her eyes. The Malik Thompson from StarTech? Malik nodded. Seems like another life. Your quantum thermal work was groundbreaking, Isabella said admiringly. Our new systems build on it. That's why he's here, Nathaniel said. Malik fixed my quantum apex with pencil lead and sealant. I want his input on our thermal project. Isabella's eyes widened. You fixed the secondary loop in the field with what? Pencil, graphite, and sealant, Malik said calmly. She laughed delightedly. Brilliant. The graphite's nanoparticles bond with the sealant's polymer base. Why didn't we think of that? Sometimes you're too close to see simple solutions, Malik suggested. Nathaniel checked his watch. Investors are gathering, shall we? In the conference room, conversations hushed as investors assessed Malik. Nathaniel stepped forward. Before our presentation, meet Malik Thompson, inventor of the quantum thrust cooling system that transformed aerospace 5 years ago, and the man who just fixed my unfixable car with ingenuity. Malik's insights went beyond a car repair. As his genius and the injustice of his situation dawned on the room, the meeting became Silicon Valley legend. During Apex Innovations' quantum computing thermal system pitch, Malik listened, jotting notes. Invited to speak, he outlined 3 design flaws in 7 minutes, offering elegant fixes and a modification boosting efficiency by 34% while cutting costs. The room fell silent, then erupted in questions. 2 hours later, As investors committed to increased funding, Nathaniel closed the door and turned to Malik. "That was extraordinary. You transformed our design, putting us years ahead." Malik nodded modestly. "Your team built a strong base. I just enhanced it." Nathaniel offered, as promised, a consulting role. "Name your price." Malik paused. "I'm not sure consulting fits my needs." "Then, Director of Engineering, full creative control," Nathaniel said. "It's not about titles," Malik replied. "It's about the bigger issue: overlooked talent, lost to systemic barriers." Malik pulled out worn, creased papers, technical drawings sketched on old newspapers. "These are patents I developed over 3 years, solutions to problems your industry hasn't fully recognized." Nathaniel examined them, astonished. "These are revolutionary, especially this quantum neural network cooling system." "I had time to think," Malik said. "Imagine what I could have done with resources. Now imagine all the other wasted talent out there." Nathaniel leaned in. "What's your proposal?" "An innovation center," Malik said. "Not just for tech development, but talent recovery, finding overlooked brilliance and supporting it, regardless of background or circumstance." "You want me to fund it?" Nathaniel asked. "I want us to build it together," Malik clarified. "My expertise and experience, your resources and connections. These patents could fund the start." Nathaniel studied him with respect. "Not revenge, but systemic change." "Exactly," Malik said passionately. "The tragedy isn't nigh homelessness, it is society wasting my potential and countless others." Nathaniel extended his hand. "Malik Thompson, you've got a partner." Malik's patents, sketched on discarded papers, were worth more than the hypercar. Their true value lay in sparking an industry transformation that nearly lost a brilliant mind. Brilliance hides in unexpected places, often dismissed by superficial judgments and systemic bias. Society's true measure isn't in the privileged success, but in recognizing genius wherever it exists. This story isn't just about Malik and Nathaniel. It is about you and the potential overlooked in others or yourself. If this moved you, subscribe to Beat Stories and join our community celebrating moments of justice and transformation. Share your story below. The next world-changing idea might come from someone society ignores. Don't miss the inspiration that could reshape your worldview. This isn't the end. It's the start of what happens when truth meets visibility. At Beat Stories, exposure is transformation's first step. Subscribe and stay tuned. The next story might be yours.